Allergy season. I can't open my mirror. I think this is life's way of telling me that I'm allergic to any kind of makeup that isn't a full beat. If you can hear Beyonce playing in the back, it's my mum watching over all the concert videos that we took from when we went to see Beyonce in concert because she's reminiscing to a better time. Raining. Why is it raining out of that window and not that window? What? Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would do something which you guys might find some use out of, which is a kind of quick makeup look which allows your skin to breathe and not feel like it's got so many products on, but still kind of feel like you're doing your makeup in the morning for a little pick-me-up, even though we are stuck in quarantine. So you feel like you're still getting ready, but you're letting your skin breathe at the same time to kind of utilize the chance to just like not wear foundation and like heavy base and all of that. So we have natural products going on. We've got not many products in general. We've cut the products by quite a lot and used everything just with a very light hand. So I really hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and if you do, don't forget to let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, let's get going. So I am going to start with my base because there's not really much going on in the eyes. So I am going to take something which I have not got out because I'm so well prepared, in case you didn't already know this. Found it. Okay, so for my base, I'm going to be using, this is like my favourite thing to use when I want to have literally like a no makeup kind of vibe, or if I just want to let my skin breathe, because all the ingredients in this are so pure. So this is, it's so messy, let's not look at it, but this is by the brand Nude by Nature. So if you've not heard of it, I would definitely recommend looking into it. It's like the #1 makeup brand in Australia. It is a sheer glow BB cream, but when I tell you it's sheer. Like once I've put it on, guaranteed you will notice like the smallest of differences. It kind of gives yourself like a natural radiance to your skin, kind of like a little bit of a pick-me-up, whilst putting so many good things into your skin. It's all like natural ingredients, so that way it kind of like allows your skin to breathe. So it's like, it kind of looks like a tinted moisturizer kind of vibe. If you want something which is still going to let your skin breathe but you feel like you want a bit more coverage, I would choose the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer. It's called Complexion Rescue. That one is really, really nice. And it looks more of like a base, you know, if you want to go with a bit more coverage. So this basically has hyaluronic acid in it, so it acts as a moisturizer already. So you need to do it straight on clean skin. You shouldn't really moisturize first, otherwise it will kind of like ball up on the skin, which is really annoying. Even like you can smell that it's all like natural ingredients, and it works best with the fingers. That's how it's been recommended by the brand to be used, to give you like the best results. Something to bear in mind, it's not buildable. Don't try to kind of layer it because it will start to peel off, because it is meant for something just to be very natural. So yeah, don't try to build it or you'll end up with like literally the biggest mess, because I did that and it was not cute. I've used a sponge, I've used different kind of brushes, I've moisturized before, I've not moisturized before, and I've also spoken to the official makeup artist of the brand, and he told me like, no, like this is where you're going wrong. You need to not moisturize beforehand and you need to use your fingers. So that is what I tried, and the results were so much better. So I would definitely recommend trying this because I love it. So I'm just gonna pat in any excess which is just sitting on the skin. Make sure it's all gone in nicely. So you can see it's very subtle. We've not got any crazy coverage. Like you could fool someone and say you've got nothing on your face at this point. Okay, now for brows, I'm still gonna use my usual products, but I'm just gonna kind of change the way that I use it a little bit. So oh shit. Allergy season. Okay, so I'm going to take my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and I'm also going to take my brow gel. My one is from Barry M. It's just any like ordinary clear brow gel. And I'm going to start by just brushing my brows, just so that they're like nicely groomed. It's kind of like a weird order to do brow gel first, but it kind of helps you make sure that you're only using as much product as you kind of need. Which is also going to make it like way faster. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of product from the lid of my pomade. And I'm going to use an angled brush. And I'm just going to kind of perfect this shape. So, I can't open my mirror. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to take the product kind of along the top. Curve it round. Just to bulk up the end of my brow a little bit more. And I'm literally just gonna leave it there. My god, I need to do my brows again. I literally just did them the other day. So as you can see, I'm not making them dense. I'm literally just perfecting the shape. I think this is life's way of telling me that I'm allergic to any kind of makeup that isn't a full beat. Okay, now I'm going to carve out my brows with concealer, just in the normal way that I do. And this is just gonna clean up, especially because like I know most of you guys go get your eyebrows done. So you probably have some hairs around your brows that you want to conceal. As I do as well, even though I do my own brows, but apparently I just let them go. So I'm just going to conceal the bottom and the top of my brows. But if you feel like you're kind of happy with the level of like natural vibe that is going on without carving them out, then you don't really need to. If you can hear Beyonce playing in the back, it's my mum watching over all the concert videos that we took from when we went to see Beyonce in concert, because she's reminiscing to a better time. Gotta hide that unibrow merging. If you know, you know. And then I'm just going in with whatever product is left on my eyebrow brush. And I'm just sort of filling in any gaps that still look a little bit sparse. This isn't how I normally do my brows. This is like a quicker, kind of more natural vibe. If you want to see how I normally do my brows, it's linked in the description box of all my videos. So, quick plug. Okay, now brows are done, feeling a lot more human. Okay, now I'm thinking we go to the nose. Now, I'm gonna do a little contour of my nose, but you don't need to. It's up to you. I just personally can't do my makeup without doing a little bit of a nose contour. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna go in quite light. So I'm gonna use my cream contour stick. This is actually a foundation stick from Makeup Revolution, and this is in the shade F13. I'm just gonna draw kind of like 2 lines, a little bit segmented. Don't know why I did that. I'm going to take the smaller end of my IT Cosmetics brush and just slowly buff this out. So it's going to give us a bit of like subtle definition. And I take it up to kind of around my eye socket a little bit as well. So small kind of feathering strokes. And then to diffuse the product more, I go in and tap on top. Okay, now I'm going to take my Becca under eye corrector in the shade medium to deep. You don't have to use this, but I'm going to use it because then it will mean that I can use less concealer afterwards. But if you don't really want to go in with a colour corrector, you don't have a very light one, because this one is very light. If you've got one which is quite extreme, like a very orangey red one, I would say probably skip that step and just go in with concealer. If you have quite like a light formula, sort of peachy toned one, which I would recommend more than the other, by the way, then yeah, just kind of go in with a little bit, just a very light amount. Oh my god, it's raining. Why is it raining out of that window and not that window? What? So I'm just diffusing it out. now I'm taking my TooFaced Born This Way concealer, and this is in the shade Natural Beige. Actually, I don't want to use this shade, that's too bright. Use a concealer which is like quite close to my foundation shade, so I'm going to use the shade Warm Beige in TooFaced Born This Way. And I'm going to start with a small amount. I don't promise it's going to stay a small amount, but I'm going to start with a small amount, which is the most that I can promise you. And then I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and start working this in. I'm going to kind of spread it. I'm not taking it directly up to the bottom of my eye, because I want to take the natural shadow that kind of falls underneath my lower lash line and use that instead of having to kind of smoke out the bottom with eyeshadow or anything. I just kind of quite like that look. And I'm taking it up the sides of the nose to assist our nose contour as well, and gradually blend it out, because you don't want it to be obvious that you've got concealer just here and nowhere else. I would also use this product if I've got any kind of blemish or anything to cover. So if you do have any scarring or blemishes or anything like that coming up, I would use this same product to cover that as well. And just bounce the sponge so that you've got a nice even coverage and it's not too high coverage anywhere. So for this look, even more so, it's really important that you damp your sponge, because otherwise the product is going to come out a lot more concentrated. And just because I still crease like mad under my eyes, even if I've just used a little bit of product, I'm going to take my translucent powder from Too Faced, and I'm going to make sure that I set directly under my eyes with the sponge. I'm not gonna like bake anywhere else, but just kind of directly under my eyes, because otherwise my makeup will not last like this. Like, it won't last for shit. So just kind of know your skin. If you find that just setting your concealer with a little bit of powder on a brush will kind of set and prevent your makeup from creasing, then 100% just do that. I only bake in this area because it's the only way to stop my under eyes from creasing. So I'm pushing it in as much as I can. Just be patient with this, keep bouncing the sponge. And then I'm gonna take my setting brush from Real Techniques, take a little bit of powder, tap off the excess, and just blend that out and make sure I'm setting the other areas where I've applied concealer. And just slowly buffing it out across the skin. You just want to make sure that you do this so that your cream products don't kind of slip and slide throughout the day, because otherwise it's not really going to stay where you put it. And go in with a very light hand with this, because less is more. I'm also just running it up and setting underneath my brows. Just kind of softening anything which looks a little bit harsh. Now I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Conceal. You don't have to really do this step, just kind of suss it out for yourself. And I'm putting a little bit down the center of my nose, just to highlight that area. And I'm just going to blend that out with my finger. And then I'm just going to take my powder again, and I'm going to pinch the brush like this and just put the most powder down the center of my nose. Then I'm going to slowly tap it out and run a very light amount of powder kind of all over. Okay, now just to kind of balance out the face and the level of coverage that we've got, I'm going to take a tiny bit of that same Warm Beige concealer and apply it to my forehead. Literally just the tiniest amount. Also going to bounce a little bit on my chin, anywhere where I feel that the coverage doesn't really even out. And then take my brush and the translucent powder and use that same technique of lightly setting the area in place. Okay, now we're looking a little bit ghostly and like we've got some coverage but there's no real shape or warmth to our face. So it's time to go in with bronzer. So I would use any kind of bronzer which isn't too dark, more on the subtle side. So for me, that is my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. It looks like this. It's got light bits of shimmer in it, so it's not a matte one. You can kind of adapt the way that you do this step based on what you're kind of looking for. If you want to literally not bring out any shape in your face, but just warm up the colour, then just go in with any kind of probably bigger brush, a bit like this, and just buff the parameters of your face. Or you can use this to kind of give you a bit of subtle structure, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take it on my E14 from Morphe, and I'm going to lightly carve out my cheekbones. So it's just about being clever about the placement that you're putting the product in, to give you some shape but not necessarily mean that you're adding more products to your face to kind of give you a sculpt. So just go in with a light hand and build it up as you kind of see fit. So I like to start by just taking it kind of under my cheekbones, and then I will go and warm up like the bottom of my face, and then I will take it up to my forehead. And you can just continue to build this until you're at the level that you want to go for. Okay, now I'm going to go in with blush because I want to make this a really like cutesy blushed kind of look. So I'm going to take my NYX Sweet Cheeks palette and I'm going to take this corally orange shade. I just go in with anything which is not too Barbie pink, not too pomegranate, like a nice coral is what I would personally go for. I kind of want to do quite a bit of this, but you kind of tailor it to your own sort of preferences with how much blush you kind of like to wear. I just feel like it brings so much life back into my face with this step. I love it. And also because blush is so in right now, it makes it like still feel quite cute and not just like, oh, like I'm just putting something on my face to feel better. It actually feels like you're doing something that looks cute, you know? Now I'm just taking a little bit on this fluffy brush and I'm taking it to the base of my nose and lightly just down the areas that we contoured. I love this step. I feel like it just looks so cute. And then if you feel like you need to sort of diffuse it out a little bit, go with your powder brush and just lightly run it over the same area. And it will just soften it all a little bit. Now I'm going to take that same brush on some translucent powder and I'm just going to clean up under our bronzer and blush. Just that slight bit of powder there gives you so much definition back to your face. And then I'll take my foundation brush and just diffuse it. Okay, now if you want to still wear highlighter, now would be the time. I personally do want to because it's me we're talking about. So I am going to take my Artist Couture Illuminati highlighter. This is quite a bright one. If you want to go more natural, go for it. It's just not really my vibe even on a natural day, to be honest. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of highlighter to my inner corners of my eyes and just under my brow bone. Because I literally, like, when I tell you I can't do my makeup without that step, like, I legit can't. So I'm just going to damp my brush with my setting spray and take that same highlighter in those areas. Now I'm just going to spray my face with some setting spray. And now we're going to do a little bit of a gloss. So you can just go in with a standard clear gloss if you want to do something more chilled and natural. But I can't do that. I need to overline. So I am going to take my NYX Intimidate eyeliner. Why am I thinking about eyeliner? My eyes are here. So I'm going to take my NYX Intimidate lip liner and I'm just going to line my lips. Now I'm going to take the NYX lip liner in the shade London, which is a really nice nude, and I'm just going to fill my lips. Now if you're not a fan of gloss, you can leave that there, or if you are like me, then you can go and add a little bit of gloss on top. This one is quite like an orangey tone, which I love. So I'm just going to add this on top. Okay, you can leave it here, but I'm looking at it and I feel like I need something on the eyes just to define it a little bit. So if you want, you can go in with mascara, like just mascara. Maybe I will do that. Should I do that? Or should I define it a bit? I feel like we should define it a bit. Should we define it? Yeah, let's do it. Why do I always lose this one thing? Found it. Okay, I'm going to take this brown khol eyeliner from Natural Collection. And I'm just going to sort of draw a bit of a line on top of my lid on the outer corner. So I'm just going to feather it. Almost treat it like an eyeshadow rather than an eyeliner. And don't go too far in. So kind of that much. And then I'm going to take this really little fluffy brush and use it just to buff that out. And slowly blend it. Okay, I feel so much better after doing that. I feel like it needed a little bit of something just to define it. Now I'm just going to run whatever is kind of left on the brush just underneath my eyes to balance out the colour a little bit. So we're just sort of bringing back the natural shadow, like enhancing it a tiny bit. So I'm going to take my lash curler and just curl my lashes a little bit. And then I'm just going to apply this mascara. This is the Thick and Fast High Definition Mascara from Soap & Glory. It's my favourite. I really love this. Okay, now you can leave it there or you can put a little bit on your bottom lashes. I'm just going to do it a tiny bit. I feel like this whole video has been, you can stop here, but I'm going to do more. But you can stop here, but I'm going to do more. This is literally just going to turn into like a normal makeup tutorial. Okay, so that is the finished look. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to see more natural things, let me know in the comments. Drop me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is @beautybydevi. And yeah, that's it really. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you're all staying safe and staying home. I wish you and your families all the best. Stay positive, stay happy, keep smiling, and I will see you all next time. Mwah. Bye guys.